So today with us, we have Dr. Dodson, the Dean of the Honors College, and the amazing Miss Raps, and some of our officers from the Honor Student Association. And we're going to start off with Dr. Dodson's presentation for the Honors College, the Honors Advantage, and open it up for questions.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do this fairly quickly, and then I'm going to let the students talk, because I think the students have the best, really the best resource for talking about what honors is all about. So I'm just going to kind of introduce it from my point of view. So we call this the Honors Advantage. There are a number of trends in higher education. One of them is what we have here, the Honors College. Another is to emphasize high impact educational practices. I'll talk about that later. And the last one is to really emphasize the acquisition of essential skills, or what we sometimes call soft skills, the kinds of things you get outside of the classroom. There's a lot of learning that takes place outside of the classroom. You come to Lamar, you're going to have a great classroom education, but there's much that you can take advantage of outside of the classroom. So the mission of the college is to integrate academic excellence, community involvement, and civic leadership. And we're going to kind of talk about how we do that. First, we engage in strategic advising. We want to talk to you about what your goals and aspirations are and develop a program that fits those. We offer enhanced courses in the core and in your upper division. The 1,000, 2,000 level is the core. 3,000, 4,000 level in your major, those are the upper division. So you can take honors all the way through. We want you to participate in high impact educational practices, which I'll get to. And we want you to be involved in the school. I want you to get involved, not just in honors, but the entire university, and make Lamar your home and make it a better place for you and your fellow students. Our courses, again, all majors, all levels. There is no major we cannot accommodate. We do have specific courses in honors, seminars and topics that are kind of out of the box, hopefully fun. They're intended to be fun. And we want to build a sense of community through those course offerings. I know that many of you are probably bringing in credit hours through AP or co-enrollment. We can accommodate those too. We have a whole variety of tools in our toolkit that'll help us get you through honors. Now, high impact educational practices. That's what this first one is. Undergraduate research and creative activity. When you come to Lamar, Lamar is really kind of at the cutting edge of what we call undergraduate research. You've all been doing some research and you'll do more, but this is more formalized. Undergraduate research is when you work with a professor. It allows you to develop a mentor-mentee relationship, to really get to know the professor and get that professor to know you. This is incredibly important. Whatever you do, you want to cultivate your professors. They're the people who can guide you through your university, enrich your education. And when you're done, they're the people who are going to be writing the letters of recommendation that'll get you a job or into graduate or professional school. A lot of our students will present their work at conferences, both on campus and off. There are a number of grant and fellowship opportunities available at Lamar. I think some of the students here have actually received some of those grants and fellowships. And then there are external research programs we encourage you to pursue. Another high impact is diversity and global learning. Not as much this year, unfortunately, due to COVID-19, but we do expect to come roaring back. Diversity is exploring this country, and we're part of a program called Partners in the Parks, in which we send students to national parks, various national parks around the country for a week, where they engage in experiential learning, learning about the culture, the history, the environment of that park. I think, Annabelle, you were going to go to one. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, those are all being postponed. We're hitting pause on a number of these things. Global learning is study abroad. Again, we had to hit pause on study abroad, but it'll probably be back next summer. And then we want our students to participate in Model UN. I think Kaylee participated in Texas Model UN. Ali Maisa also participated in Model UN. Model UN is just what it sounds. It's the United Nations, but it's sort of a mock UN. Internships is the third high impact educational practice. Here you get on-the-job work experience. You can receive academic credit, and you can get paid for what you're doing. So this is really one of the most important factors in going into your career, is to get some on-the-job experience. And finally, we have service and community-based learning. Um, we have a program where we place our students on the boards of nonprofit organizations, local nonprofits, where they serve as non-voting members and learn about how the nonprofit sector works. And I think a couple of the students here, Misa, if she's with us, is on the nonprofit board. Kaylee, are you on a nonprofit? Okay, then it's just Misa. It's called the Stepping Up program over here. And we want you to be involved and be leaders in your community. When you leave Lamar, you're going to have a great education, but we want to really promote an ethic of leadership, because you guys are the leaders of tomorrow for us. Another initiative is the e-portfolio. You know, your world is different than mine. Mine, we still had typewriters and regular snail mail, etc. You're entering a digital world, and you've already entered it this past spring in learning. Hopefully the learning part will exit it, but we want to teach you about responsible digital citizenship, how to function within the digital world to really advance your interests and aspirations. And so we have an e-portfolio program, electronic portfolio, where you really can sculpt and learn how to present yourself in a digital way. And I think that gives you a real edge. Also, we have our student association, the Honor Student Association. I think we have Ali here, Maisa Salibi, and Hana Abdullah are officers. Kaylee's also in the peer mentoring program. She's a peer mentoring coordinator. The Honor Student Association really is students running and doing their own thing. They organize activities for themselves. It's a means by which you get to engage with university life. You choose your own leaders. I don't choose the leaders for you generally, but you also serve as my advisory council. So when I want feedback about honors education at Lamar, I come to the HSA leadership and they function as my advisory council. So you will actually have a voice in molding your honors experience at Lamar as an individual, but also as part of the sort of collective honor student community. And then last, the HSA sets up peer mentoring. So if you're in honors right now, you probably have been or will be contacted by a peer mentor, somebody who will kind of help guide you through your first semester or two at Lamar University and help you get integrated into the institution. These are some of the things the Honor Student Association does. Honor students are active on campus and off in a variety of service activities, in a variety of cultural and intellectual activities. So, I'm very proud of all of the ways they contribute to the community, the honors community, the Lamar community, but also the broader community of Southeast Texas. All of this really helps build what are typically called soft skills. I like to call them essential skills because they are essential to really taking your career to the next step. They develop leadership skills when you get involved in these kinds of organizations. You learn how to network, how to make connections with other people. You develop organizational skills, how to organize an event, how to organize an organization itself. You learn how to present yourself in a public setting, and it doesn't matter where you go or what you do, at some point you're going to have to make presentations. And you learn how to work with others. You learn teamwork skills and how to collaborate in an effective manner with other people on your team so as to achieve a common goal. And I think this is one of the key areas that sets honors apart from everything else, is the development of these essential skills, that and the emphasis on the high impact educational practices. All of that, if I can get off okay, now I'm back. All of that, to me, I'm a traditional liberal arts prof. All of that to me enriches your time at Lamar, enriches your time in college. You will become a much better rounded, much more multi-dimensional person if you're in honors and you take advantage of all that we have to offer. It sets you up for the next stage, but the most important thing I think it does is it helps you develop as a person and build relationships that are going to benefit you for the rest of your life. I know that our alumni still remain in contact with each other and still get together and are close friends 20 years after they leave Lamar. This kind of thing is invaluable. And that's a lot of what we try to produce in honors, try to generate is getting students connected with each other, playing a role, not just in their own individual education, but playing a role in the development of the university itself and the development of the community. So I'm going to turn it over to the students because I think you guys do a better job than I do because you can talk from your own personal experience of what this has all been like. So whoever wants to start, I'm going to mute.
Haley, how about we have the honors officers right now, Ali, Misa, and Hannah. So if you guys want to give a little bit about what it is that you guys do and your experience in the Honors College, real fast, or whatever.
Hey everybody, my name is Ali Hamza. I'm the president of Honor Student Association. So what I essentially do is I oversee everything that's going on. I give in like new ideas as well, and then as Dr. Dawson was saying, I'm also on the advisory board. So if something comes up, we obviously talk about it, what the honor students feel about it. And then in terms of what HSA has done for me, I kind of saw it as a fresh start when I was coming to Lamar University. I was a freshman. I didn't do too well in high school, but I was just like, you know what, I want to give it a change. I want to make sure everything goes well. So I entered HSA, and it was probably the best decision I've made. And the reason being is because I had friends who I didn't think they were going to be my friends. For instance, Misa, she was in my communications class, and we ended up both being pre-law, both being political science majors, and we've been sticking through every single year going together. And hopefully when we attend law school, we're going to go all the way. But honors has given me a bunch of things that I didn't know I needed. So leadership abilities, I always knew I had them, but when you're surrounded by people who are also leaders, it really does perfect that skill. It shows you different perspectives. It allows you to become more open-minded. And then also, it just guides you in terms of your college career. As Dr. Dodson was saying, it sets you up for the future. And I've done Model UN. I've done, like, for instance, Partners in the Park. And Partners in the Park is like more of an environmental science thing, but it actually has changed my perspective on like climate change a big time. And because of that, it's probably going to change my future. If I ever get into policy making or anything of that sort, it'll change the outcome of that. So those very small things that seem minute can actually have a really large impact. But if I were to give like one piece of advice is the minute you get into HSA, build those friendships as soon as you can, because those are probably going to be the biggest asset you can have, not only in your college career, probably for the rest of your life. So that's personally my experience.
Hi guys, my name is Hannah Abdullah. I'm the vice president this year for Honors Student Association. My role as vice president, obviously I do help Ali in whatever he needs. As president, I act as parliamentarian during whether it be officer meetings or our general meetings. I help our committee chairs in whatever they need, and also try to get our regular members to become a part of committees, just so we have a variety of activities for our organization that are more deeper and meaningful than just our committee chairs trying to figure something out on their own. We all help each other. Honor Society, for me, again, what Ali was saying, going into college, you don't really feel you have a community of people that are actually there for you right off the bat when you start. Again, with the peer mentoring program, that first person that helps you in college is from Honor Student Association, from the Honor Society, and they really want the best for you. So that was my first introduction to the Honor Society, was through my peer mentor. They helped ease my transition, and I really found a group and a family that I thought I belonged to within the Honors College, which made my transition much easier for me. And I found more leadership experiences within the Honor Society. I've always been very service oriented in high school, so I knew this was going to be a perfect fit for me, whether it be doing community service within the Honor Society, finding leadership roles, or again, working on my soft skills, I knew I was a perfect fit.
Hi everyone, my name is Maisa Salibi and I'm the Secretary Treasurer for HSA this year. Like Hannah was saying, coming into college, I didn't really know which group I'd fit into and which friends to make, but the Honors College really helped me make meaningful relationships with the people around me. And I've been able to get involved with so many things, because in high school I didn't really get involved that much. I didn't really care for it. And in college, I thought, I'm going to go to class, I'm going to go home. Like, that was my entire mindset. But with the Honors College, I was able to present research, participate in Model United Nations, do so many other things. And it's just been really, really helping me develop all these soft skills. For instance, service and leadership. I've been able to hold different positions in different organizations around campus, such as in student government organization or student government association and pre-law society. So yeah, it's been a really, really great program and I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Okay, hi, my name is Kaylee. I am an orientation leader, but I'm also one of the co-chairs for peer mentoring in the Honors College. And it's a program that's really near and dear to my heart because I had it wasn't too difficult, but in high school I was involved, not nearly as involved as I am in college at Lamar. And the Honors College really facilitated that for me. And I'm just now a sophomore, but there are so many opportunities that have been presented to me through the Lamar Honors College. Like, for instance, right now I am participating in a cancer research internship, which is pretty amazing as a sophomore. And I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that the college has given me. There are also scholarships that are given through the college, one of which I just received. And I'm just really grateful for everything. The college really takes care of their students.
Hey guys, my name is Annabelle. I'm also an orientation leader, and also I am the service co-chair for the Honors College this upcoming year. And I really enjoyed joining the Honors College just because I feel like it's like a set of experiences that you wouldn't get otherwise. And just in 1 year at Lamar, I've done so many things through the Honors College. I was supposed to go on the Partners in the Park trip this summer, spend a week in Maine. It was so pretty. Also, they have intramural, we have an intramural sports team. So if you guys like sports, there's like basketball, soccer, volleyball, flag football. It's so much fun. We have so much fun going out and playing. There's just so many opportunities for you in the Honors College that I feel like it's really easy to get involved. And it's a really great community of friends that I've had so far. And I think it's a great experience that you should all embark on. Do you guys have any questions so far? You can type them in the chat if you can't turn your microphone on.
Okay, so Madison asked, how do we start? So I believe the application has been closed for the fall, but Dr. Dodson, if you have anything that you can add to that.
If you officially, we're closed, the application's closed, but I'm not going to turn somebody away who found out about us a little bit late. So if you send me an email, it's kevin.dodson@lamar.edu. We will take a look at your application. So, we want to stay open. We do have to set a deadline officially, but that's official, and I've never been all that big on official, I guess. So we will still consider any application. And the other thing is you could wait till your first semester's over, and if you have a 3.5 or better, apply at that point. But I always think it's, if it's better to start as soon as you can, You do need to be at least in the top 10% of your high school class, or the 1260 composite SAT or a 27 ACT. Okay. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers the question.
Also, we have another question asking how large is the Honors College? Do you want to?
Sure. We go up and down. We dropped at the end of spring because people graduated, but now we're on the upswing. I think in the fall, it'll probably be 340 to 350 students. We were 330 this past year, but we've grown. We've taken in about 20 more. We've gotten a lot of people interested and they're coming in. So I'm betting 340 to 350.
Okay, so I think Madison has a question, and she said, do you have to apply, or if not, wait after the first year of college?
You have to, yeah, you have to apply. Like I said, if you just send me an email, and I see Megan will send you the details, but if you send me an email with your resume and expressing your interest, we'll take a look at your SAT and your class rank. Otherwise, you can do it after your first semester, not your first year, but your first semester. Because the sooner you get in, the better. You know, the sooner we can get you in and get you moving, the better. Okay? So I think Madison sent you a link, but you'll probably have to talk to me or communicate with me directly.
I just want to add something here. I'm the coordinator at the college. We also post a lot of what we're doing on our Facebook page. So that's a good way to learn about what people are participating in. So for instance, we have a summer reading club, and Dr. Dodson also emails everybody, so it's very important that you're included in the email list. But we also post those on our Facebook page too. So we try to keep you current on what we're doing in the college. And if for some reason you didn't receive a communication or you have questions about it, you can always reach out to me, and we will find out how to help you get involved. But we haven't stopped, and we don't plan to stop having ways to interact with our students no matter what happens. It's been a learning experience for all of us, but we still want to keep you involved and keep the students involved in discussions with each other and also with our faculty. So another great way to find out about opportunities is through our social media.
Thank you for that, Ms. Megan. Are there any other questions? Okay, Ariel is asking if there is a specific date the reading club begins or if it's up to the teacher.
The specific date is up to the teacher, but we've asked the reading clubs to start mid-July. So in about a week, I think they'll be up and running completely. The students, you know, we closed admission to the club July 1st. You know, if you're in the honors and you want to ask, it's up to the discretion of the teacher. So you need to get the book and start reading it, but we're looking probably mid-July. I think the club leaders have already been sending out emails telling people what they're doing. I think Mark Jones had questions because it looks like.
Mark, do you have a question? We have a question, another question asking when applications usually open.
Okay, so I actually see a couple of questions now. They'll open, I think it's September 1st. Whenever the university starts opening the application process, I take it he's talking about 21, fall 21. So whenever the university starts opening its application process for fall 21 is when honors will start opening its application process. So we're in sync with the university's application process. And then,
Okay. And Jacob asked, how would you compare honors level classes to regular? As a student, I would say that the honors level classes are a little more work heavy, but at the same time, the professors are incredibly encouraging, they're supportive, they're engaging, and if you have a question, they're happy to answer. Would any other HSA officer or Annabelle, other students, would y'all care to chime in?
Yeah,
You can go.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I actually think that honors classes are easier considering that they're actually smaller than regular size classes. And so it's a lot easier to get one-on-one time with your professor. And again, it's a lot easier because you know people in the honors college when you go to meetings. So if you communicate at meetings, you find people in your classes and you can work together. And so I think in that way, they can end up being easier than regular classes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Annabelle on that. I personally, I ask a lot of questions when I'm in class, like a lot, and that's just to really understand the material. So just to give an example, in my government 1 class that was not honors, that was my first B I've made in college, and I made an A in honors government 2, which had harder material, more essays to write, and overall it was just more difficult. But because I could ask so many questions, um, I learned it better. And in the end, I actually remember a lot more from that honors class than I do from the government 1 honors class. And that kind of just speaks about how, like in my experience with the honors professors, they do a really good job of making sure everybody's engaged and they're super interactive. And they focus a lot on critical thinking skills. So they'll ask a lot of open-minded questions or open-ended questions to see what your perspective is on something, and then they'll either challenge it, support it, etc. And then you have to back it up with whatever information you read. And personally, I find that to be better. But as Annabelle was saying, I found honors classes to be, or honors courses to be easier, even though they had slightly a heavier workload. In the end, I did find it easier because I could ask more questions and they were more open-minded.
And it's not always the case of like if it's easier or harder. I would also say honors classes are funner for me because again with the class discussions, if you're in a big lecture hall with like 100 people, for example, you don't get to talk. You just focus your mind on the lecture and that's it. And then you're in and you're out. But with the honors, again, with the class discussions, you're open to so many things to discuss and talk about. That's how you get to know your honors peers as well, as by talking to them. Also, like say you're talking about something in class, you can continue that conversation outside. So again, with your relationships, it's not just in class relationships, it's outside too. And again, what Annabelle was saying with the one-on-one relationship with your professor, again, with like recommendation letters, you're probably not going to get a recommendation letter from someone you see for like once or twice a week, for example, with a class of 100 other people. They're not going to know your face. So again, with honors, better class discussions, and again, a better relationship with your peers and professors.
Okay, there was a question, but I think Miss Raps got to it. Does anyone else have something that they want to ask or add?
Do want to add one small thing.
Go ahead, Ollie.
Sorry, but I do think it is important. So the Honors College and Honors Student Association, they're technically together, but they're also technically separate. And that's really important because in order to graduate with honors, you have to have a certain amount of courses, a certain amount of service hours, a certain amount of honors experience. And at first, it seems very, very overwhelming, but that's the whole purpose behind the Honors Student Association. We literally like help you get on track with everything. And typically, people who are in the Honors Student Association are actually ahead of the curve. They usually get their things done a little bit faster. So I just wanted to point that out and the importance of HSA.
Yeah, they are working hard right now to prepare for this upcoming year because I know they've been having meetings over the summer, Zoom meetings, I guess, to get ready for this coming year. Basically, you look at requirements, and I have to tell people the requirements in 5 or 10 minutes, but you're going to do the requirements over 4 years, not in 5 or 10 minutes. So when you spread things out, they're really not that onerous. And really the principle is just get involved. We want you to get involved. You'll get so much more out of college if you get involved, and the earlier you get involved, the better. You're going to have a blast. I always say that my goal is that when you look back on your time at Lamar, I want you to say that I had a blast. I learned a lot, I did a lot, I grew a lot, and I just had a great time. And that's really the goal from my point of view. So.
Okay, Jake had a question. He asked, what are the minimum course requirements to be an HSA?
Well, I mean, there's the college and HSA. We want you to take courses because we want you to stay on track. And so you'll meet with our advisor, and the advisor will keep you on track. Now, some semesters you might not be taking an honors course. Others you might be taking 2 or 3. But it's really more a matter of staying on track for the entire year. Okay. And I see another one from Mark. Again, I think Megan sent out a link. If you don't quite meet the requirements, I mean, you could send us an email now, but you're probably better off waiting until your end of your first semester. And Megan sent out a link about how to do that. But the sooner that, the sooner in the semester you apply, you get yourself on our radar. So we will wait until grades come in to check, but you'll already have the application in. So you're on our radar at that point. And that's important.
I'm just going to say real fast, my personal favorite thing about the Honors College is that you get you can get 2 free tickets to all the performances on campus. So I was never into like plays and stuff in high school, but I decided to go to a couple of them last year, like 3, I think, and I just enjoyed all of them so much. It's such a great experience to be able to go do that, and you don't have to pay for it, and it's just fun. Yeah.
To bounce off of that, my favorite Honors College memory was marching in the homecoming parade, where we won Most Spirited with the amazing chants that Dr. Castellano came up.
Castillon, Dr. Castillon.
Thank you.
We have a question from, oh, never mind. Miss Rapp answered it. So. Kaylee, do you have anything else to add?
I would just encourage everyone to try your best to get involved, if not in the Honors College, in some other organization, because there's so many at Lamar.
Honors officers, do you guys have anything to add? Hannah, Ali, Misa?
I have actually one thing to add. I know, so back in February, I volunteered with Dr. Dotson on behalf of the Honors College with Cardinal View. And one of the main questions asked was, are all the requirements that we need to meet, are they difficult to meet? And don't be overwhelmed by all the requirements. It looks like a lot in the beginning. Believe me, I know. Especially with like the high impact requirement. I thought I didn't have one, and then I just like asked Dr. Dotson. He was like, "You have like 4. Like, relax." So you fulfill these requirements without even realizing it. So don't be overwhelmed with everything that you have to do.
Okay, I'm going to say one last thing, and that's just to thank all of the students, the honor students who are participating in here and showing up to talk to you about it, and to thank all of the students out there. I don't see you, but I know you're out there. Thank all of you for coming in and showing an interest in Lamar University and the Reaud Honors College. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much, and have a good summer.
Ms. Rapp, do you have anything else to add?
No, it's just a pleasure to see everybody again. We miss our students, so we love seeing our officers, all of you, and we look forward to meeting all of our new freshmen who are coming in. And like I said before, we're always here for you, no matter what the circumstances are. We will try to involve you in some way in the college. So we're just happy to have you here.
I would like to thank Dr. Dodson and Ms. Rapps and all of the Honors Student Association officers for being here and talking with us today. One more call for questions, last minute, get them in there real quick. And if not,
We can hand it over to our SOC Kaylin. If there's,
anything he would like to add,
is he in here? Kaylin?
he might just be listening. Oh, Kaylin says we're good.
We're good.
Okay, thank you
Okay.
everyone for coming.
Oh, wait.
Oh,
One more question. Does it cost any more?
No, no.
Madison asks, applying after our first semester, will we still have time to finish everything?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. We're
Awesome,
used to that.
great.
They have, like the honors advisor will help you, will sit down with you and help you pick out every possible situation. So you will be okay.
Anything else? I don't think so.
Okay. Are we good?
Thank you, everyone. Have a great summer. We'll hopefully see you in fall. There's another question. Who is the advisor from Kelly? His name is Dr. Strange. He's really cool. I think he's extremely helpful. And yes, Doctor Strange, like the Marvel character.
Yeah. That's what I thought the first time I heard his
Me
name.
too.
All right, guys. Thank you for coming. It was a
Yes, thank
great
you.
Zoom call.
Thank you.
All right.
You
Bye,
can go ahead
everyone.
and go. Bye.
Thank you.